Gente, good morning and welcome to Moments con Margarita. I didn't upload a video yesterday. I had it, but something happened with my phone and I lost it. And I won't be able to redo it because I will lose the essence and what I was talking about yesterday. But just several parts of it. It was really talking about parenting and how our children are our children, but they are each their own individual. And when we put condition on how they are supposed to behave and how they are supposed to accomplish certain goals that we set, I was saying how unfair that is, so that when they don't do what we expected them to do, we get disappointed, we get angry, we don't understand how they could do that, why they did that, not realizing that they are the fruit of our loins. We carry them, they have our DNA in them, and how sometimes when our children do things that upset us and disappoint us, before we go about unleashing hell on them, we should go back and remember who we were at their age. And if we do that, then we can have a bit of a better understanding, not so much for what they did, but why they did it. Did we do something similar? Or we're about to do something that they did? So we have to learn how to pause, breathe, think, and then approach them. And I learned later on, after, remember I was telling you about my daughter, how instead of reacting to what they did and reprimanding them in a way, because I'm a parent who believes in spanking your child on occasion, not beating them, but I believe in discipline. I don't believe in only just talking or letting them go to their room and giving them their own privacy and knocking on their door. No, honey, you live in my home. Okay, we are an open door policy family. But when my daughter was about 13, I learned through a very good friend, thank you, Brina Bacalar, to tell your child that you're disappointed in their actions. Because guess what happens, no matter how old they are, because I remember when I first said that to my daughter, it turned things around. So she didn't feel that I was not liking her, that I didn't love her anymore. She heard the words that I did not like, that I was hurt and disappointed by the things that she did, not by her per se. And that carried us into the relationship we have now. So I was very blessed to learn when she was at that age how to approach the many things she put me through. And in saying that, when I said how we are all warriors, we truly are all warriors, because we are here today because of all the battles we fought and won in our yesterdays. And so we should consider ourselves the Davids, the Goliaths of the world, because we're here. We're here to talk about it today. We overcame it and we learned so many lessons through it. It didn't hold us back where we were. If anything, it launched us forward with sabiduría, with wisdom. But when it comes to our children, we are Superman in front of kryptonite. We just don't know what to do. We succumb in our sorrow, in our pain, in our anger, because we just want better for them. And that's all understandable. I'm so guilty of doing that as well. But then you learn how to pause, breathe, think, and then approach them, because they are very vulnerable individuals, and sometimes they don't even understand why they did or do what they're doing. And as I reminded my children growing up that, as well as being their parent, I am what they consider out in the streets to be their friends, their best friends, because at the end of the day, when something does happen to them and they fall, they're not going to have any of those friends to reach out for at that moment. The first phone call they're going to want to make is to us. And what do? We do what we're supposed to do. We run, we pick them up, we dust them off, we hug them and thankful that they're okay, then we try to educate them. But the only way that the children are going to listen to us, especially when they did something wrong and they know they're in trouble, is to remember to pause, breathe, and think. And I read this, I studied this, I did it, and I still do it because now I have grandchildren. And although we taught our children this, who are now parents, when they're caught up in the moment that we were caught up in before we learned it, they're not going to think. They're not going to pause. They're not going to breathe. They're not going to think. They're going to react because their first instinct is, oh my God, why did you do this? I didn't teach you this. I explained this to you. And then just a fear that they're hurt or they've done something destructive that will hinder their future. So the video was to that extent, and we learn along with our children. We learn along with the lessons that we're trying to teach our children. We learn and we become better people. We become better parents, and we become better allies for those who are going through the process, who need word of wisdom, who need some advice. A lot of parents don't like to get advice when they're dealing with their children. They feel nobody understands what they're going through. So I know a few people that don't want to hear anything anybody else has to say regarding their children or how they should handle it, and that's totally okay. You have to respect them because everybody learns at their own pace. But so that we don't have to keep stumbling in the dark and alienating ourselves from our children, then we need to work with them. We need to let them understand, no, what you did is wrong, it's totally unacceptable, and you will be punished. But let's figure out how we can get through this so that there won't be a next time regarding this, because there are going to be next times on many other issues, whatever it is that you're dealing with now. So that was the gist of yesterday's video, and I'm sorry that I lost it. I really don't know how that happened. But today I want to talk about, I believe this is like my 10th video, and I mentioned in my other videos how I suffer from insomnia. Well, I'm proud to say that in doing these videos, I have helped myself so much to the point where I'm really getting tired earlier, and instead of being ready to get in the shower at 3 and laying in bed at 3:30 every morning, it's been 12:30, 1 o'clock, and when I hit that alarm to wake me up at 8 so that then I can begin my husband's feeding, when I set the alarm and it tells me I have 6 hours, I have 7 hours, I am like so excited. I get happy with myself that I'm doing something for myself, that I'm allowing myself to sleep a little longer because my body needs it. My health relies on it, on sleep. So I just wanted to share that this is helping me. The feedback that I get from some of you is just, I'm so overwhelmed with the feedback that sometimes I don't know what to say, because I never realized that it can affect people. And in our reality, although I was doing this to help myself so that I can take it out of here, spit it out through here so that it can re-enter through here, has done such a service for me. I'm being good to myself. I realized that in doing this, I am loving myself in so many more ways than I anticipated, and I'm happy, and I'm happy when people call. Like yesterday, I got several texts asking me, where's the video? I need to hear what you have to say. It helps me. And in helping them, they're helping someone else. I also got a call yesterday from a family member who, she is just, when you speak to her, it's like this woman has never felt pain. She is so jolly. Her voice is it just makes you smile. You can, when you're on the phone with her, you can actually feel her smiling. And it's such a blessing to have that relationship with her, because she has been through so much. And I'm not going to mention her name, but a couple years ago, she lost her daughter, and it was horrible. It was horrible for all of us. And when I constantly hear her talking about her daughter and not only dwelling in the past, but the way she speaks about her, or how she would have liked this, and she knows that she would have been doing this. It's like she doesn't even realize how the forgiveness in her heart, how she's allowed God to heal her, and allow herself to forgive herself for whatever, because we always blame ourselves for whatever it is that our children do. And that is the epitome of a survivor. That is an epitome of someone who, no matter what adversity she's dealing with, what trauma, her heart is still open for others. And she helped so many other people. And she encountered one when someone who she has dealt with only on the phone for 4 years finally took a flight from wherever it is that she lives into Miami and drove the 4 hours to Orlando just to meet her and to tell her how her voice over the phone and how she handled chaos at the job has helped her come out of her darkness on a personal and professional level. And when she called to tell me that yesterday, I know I was pausing when she was talking to me, but it's because I was crying. Just the joy in knowing that people are acknowledging their purpose in this life. Because her purpose in this life is to bring joy to those around her. And she does it. When I tell you how this woman will call you, and no matter what mood you're in, she's like, hey, babe. And she just goes on, and you can't help but to smile throughout the whole conversation and crack up with her. And then you start talking about stuff that's joyous to you, and you start both laughing, and you're sharing, and there's no gossip, there's no venting, there's just, this is what's going on, and I was thinking maybe this, what do you think? And we ricochet ideas off each other, and plans. We don't even realize that we're making plans with each other regarding our own lives. How perfect is that? That's like priceless. That's the beauty of how God brings people together from no matter how far away you are. You don't have to be living next door. You don't have to be hanging together every day or anything. It's just a true bond with somebody is you could not see each other in a year, and you see each other again. It's like you were together yesterday. And I have 2 friends that I have had for over 20 years that are like that. They are. Lillian is just such an entrepreneur, and she has this travel business that I'm very interested in, and I'll talk more about that because you all might be interested in it. And it's a beautiful thing. Day trip, and she holds a sign up that says you should be here whenever she's out on vacation. I think she's going to Dubai now, and to me that's fascinating because I love traveling. So she might not think that I'm interested in, but because of my situation right now, I've been really thinking about it. I look at all the videos of other people who are in that business and how they travel all around the world, and that's just like something I want to do. And so, and we don't have to speak every day. Sometimes we don't speak for months, and then we pick up, and it's like we just had a conversation yesterday, and that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And if you all have that, embrace it and cherish it. And so with me doing this, my purpose, one of my many purposes, and when I decided to do this, I decided to do it because I needed to heal. I needed to purge. I needed to listen to the ideas that I have, and to remind myself and hold myself accountable to what I said I was going to do. So when I kept it up here, it was just up here. So I would say, I'll do it tomorrow, there was no accountability. So once I started doing this, and I brought it down from this level and out through here and back in through here, it has been a wealth of discovery on my own, for myself, for my spirit, my soul, my core. They're all happy right now. They're happy, and I'm happy, and I handle things differently, and I have a long road ahead of me with a lot of that stuff. But just knowing that I'm tired, and I'm allowing myself to be tired, and I'm putting myself in bed, I'm tucking myself in so that I can wake up better with a little oomph in my step, and looking forward to whatever it is I'm gonna deal with today. So, and I thank you for that too. I thank you for watching these videos and learning with me, and I just thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the feedback. I'm still tweaking and learning everything about YouTube, so once we can get like little things put on the bottom that I can say, click down here, because that's my goal, so I'm working on it. And then because I want to start a dialogue, I want comments, and I want feedback from other. If one person needs a comment, and someone else either agrees or disagrees, I would like that there, so that we can start, so that you can leave me a question and we can talk about it the next day, and learn and keep evolving with learning everything there is to know about us, because there's so much in there that's so beautiful and so helpful, and it just wants to come out. It wants to come out and bloom like that flower when the sun rises. Okay, that's what it wants for ourselves, because that's our inner self. That's, let us shine from the inside out, so that when we do come out and that sun comes down on us and we open up, and then when that beautiful moon, because I'm a moon person, when that beautiful moon is just lighting up the sky at night, then it can just lullaby us to sleep and rest, and find peace, that everything we did throughout that day was okay. Even if we didn't check everything off that list, it's okay, because we accomplished. Even if it's one thing out of your list of 10, you accomplished it. So when that moon comes and then you just want to close up and rest and be prepared for the next morning, it's okay. You're doing it. You're succeeding at it. And so with that, I want to say thank you, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope that we grow together. I hope that we continue to share and talk about things that happen, so then I can share it with all the rest of you, because it's a beautiful thing. It truly is. I have some other work that I did. It's not a painting. It's just something that I have hanging over my desk that I look at, that reminds me that of all of the chaos, of all of the bullshit that happens, hope is always prevalent. It's right there in the forefront. So instead of always looking at all the other stuff that's going on, hope is right there in your face, reminding you, you got this. You got this. Like no one else has it. You got it. So that's what I do. I hang that over, and it's crooked, and it's okay, because I like to do as well. My art, it's perfectly imperfect, because that's how we are as humans. We are perfectly imperfect beings. So I am not going to have a facade where everything in my house has to be perfect and everything I do has to be aligned, because that's not real. And I try to keep everything real, because we have to leave room for error. We have to leave that space. Like tomorrow I'll show you my greeting cards that I have now. I have them up on Facebook, and several people have ordered them, and I'm like so excited, because it's a beautiful thing. And above the word silence, I left a gap in the drawing I did, and several people was like, did you do this on purpose? Yes, I did. I did, because in life we need that space. We need that gap to be there, so that when we're going on our way and we're like, oh no, I'm going the wrong way, I veered off the road that I wanted to be on, that space above silence is always going to be there, so that you have the opportunity to make that U-turn, to go around that roundabout and think, okay, as you're going about it, this is okay, I'm going right, and you change the course you're on, and you head in the way that you meant to be, what's right for you. And I put it above silence, because it's a reminder that through life, this being busy, being under Satan's yoke, and all the chaos and all the noise, sit down, silence your mind. And when you do that, you hear the voice of God giving you clarity and direction. And it is then that you realize, okay, it's time to make that U-turn. I took a different route and it's not for me. Let's make that U-turn, and let's make it right again. Let's go back to where we're supposed to be, because we're gonna do that every day of our lives. We're gonna try to take a shortcut, or say we're gonna do it later, and then other stuff happens and we don't do it, and then we beat ourselves up about it. So no, we don't want to do that. So always leave yourself room to make that change. That's what the card is about, and I'll explain it in detail tomorrow. But this right here, I'm gonna reach for it. See all the red and the gray and just the dreariness of it. And then it says, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. And then you got the flowers. They're my Moroccan flowers and I love them. But this is what I did. I painted all of that in that color one day when I was feeling down. And then I meant to throw the canvas away, because I'm like, if I keep holding that, then, that's what I'm going to see, and that's where I'm going to stay. And then I decided to go on my silhouette and cut out the saying that was already on there. And I was like, oh, I love that. And I did it on my green paper, because I told you, to me, with my Cricket's Whisper Me Time logo, my cricket is in green, and because it represents hope. And I have to continue to use my husband's mantra, which is live in hope, awaken faith, and always believe in miracles. So here we are. And as I said, I keep that above my desk in my messy back room, which is still a mess, because I'm planning on what it is that I need to do. And since, living on a limited income and having limited chances to be running back and forth to Home Depot, I have to really, really focus on Pinterest and get ideas, because that's Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram. Pinterest is my favorite. It's my go-to for recipes, for jewelry ideas, for quotes. There's a lot of it. It's just has so many Bible quotes and words of wisdom quotes, and my favorite author is Khalil Gibran, and they have his. And so for everything I go to Pinterest. And when I get the right look, and then I'll start making my shelvings, because I do that because it's my healing. And I want to fix that up before, and have it fixed up now, because I am planning on building a she shed in my yard all by myself, because I have to do it by myself, which eventually I'm going to need help, but you know what? To lift up the walls, but I'm going to do it because it's something I want to do. Find what you want to do. Find it. Love yourself. Believe in yourself and start doing it. So, hasta mañana, mi gente. Namaste. Remember, hug yourself, love yourself, be kind to yourself. And remember, you are the most important person in your life. Ciao, hasta mañana.